making pie crust so that I can make 6 pumpkin pie and 1 homemade blueberry and 1 homemade apple and 1 homemade cherry pies. And one thing about baking is it's a precise measurement, and it's very important to be precise. Right now I'm making 3 pie crusts, which is equal to 6 crusts, because it's 1 pie crust is 2 crusts, usually a top and a bottom, but with pumpkin you only have the bottoms. And you need 6 cups of flour. And I'm on number 4 right now. And I'm putting it all in this bowl because in a minute I'm going to sift it all into the other bowl so that there's no lumps. And 1 more to go. And I have to do this twice because I have 9 pies. And there's 1 batch. Put that aside for a minute. And I can sift. Oh, I need 1/8 of a teaspoon per crust. So I need 3 of these. There's 3 crusts. 1, 2, 3. I had eggs on the table. What happened to them? Okay, thank you. I just need them in the future. Okay, now it's time for sifting. This is the fun thing. I'm actually right-handed, so I have to use my left hand to scoop. This may take a few minutes.
How many 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of these because I feel like I'm like, yeah.
Next thing is 3 eggs, because it's a triple batch. You need 1 per batch. And you should slightly beat them before you put them in the flour. Just makes it a lot easier to mix in. A hint on your shortening and butter. The recipe calls for just shortening. I always use a little bit of butter because it helps make the crust flakier. And a prerequisite is to put your shortening and butter in the fridge and keep it as cold as you can for as long as you can, because it helps the crust stay flaky too. As the shortening and butter heat up in the oven, it makes like little pockets of air and it makes it flaky. Okay, and now I am dumping the eggs in. Dear, I need 3 sticks of butter in the shortening, please.
Yep.
Shortening's in the fridge. Now your best thing to do with the butter, so it will cut into the flour and egg and salt easier, is take a knife after you open it and cut it into cubes, because the cubes seem to cut in the flour a lot easier than a whole stick.
Look at the screen.
And you're trying to keep it as cold as possible. So the less you handle it, the better. The flakier your crust. And there's 1 stick. That's a 1/2 cup. Altogether, it's always 2 cups of flour to 1 cup of shortening. So I use a 1/2 cup of shortening and a 1/2 cup of margarine for the crust. Okay, here comes the shortening, nice and cold. Easier to get it out, Shannon. It's a very deep container.
I'm flab.
It'd be really funny if we had a blooper and the freaking knife snapped off.
I need a cup with ice water, and it has to have ice.
Dad walked out with his coffee.
He obviously didn't hear me. And you flatten it off. Make sure you have just one cup.
Shannon's disgusting. Shannon, that's what's in your house.
And there's one cup. Now the half. And this is just for the pumpkin pie. This isn't even for the apple, cherry, or blueberry yet. This is just the pumpkin pie's crust. Nice and flat. Take off the excess. And there's the half. Now we got 3 cups of shortening all together in there. 1.5 shortening, 1.5 margarine. Now I need 3 tablespoons of vinegar. You always use vinegar in your crust because it makes it really, really flaky. You don't taste it. You just know it's there because it's really flaky. In the olden days, people used to use lard instead of shortening. The only problem with that is they don't sell it anymore because it's not supposed to be good for your heart. But now you just take your fork and you cut in the flour and the shortening, and you're making it all one unit. If you had a food processor, this would go a lot faster. And make sure you have a flaky crust because you don't have to handle it as much. I'm trying to get this together to see how good it's going, to see if I need to add water. I'm just trying not to let the glutens get too far involved. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat it a little bit. I didn't need any cold water this time. Maybe next time, because sometimes the flour's off. Sometimes you put a hair too much or a hair too little. This has got to sit in the fridge for a half hour. And then I can move on to my next crusts.
I hate my conscience, this lust for violence. I beg forgiveness, but it won't come. I'm destined for fire, afraid to expire. It won't really matter, the damage is done.